ready for some potential sticker shock next year on April 15th. President Biden is promising to let Trump-era tax cuts expire next year if he wins a second term, meaning that millions of Americans could soon face even steeper tax bills. Let's bring in Charles Payne, host of Making Money with Charles Payne on Fox Business.
Good morning.
Just to show everybody on the screen so we know what we're talking about. Call for number one is the tax cuts set to expire and the impact on married filers. That's how much everybody would pay more. So, for example, if you have 2 kids, you're looking at $2,400 more. 3 kids, $7,500. With tax cuts set to expire for single filers, you're looking again, that's a pretty hefty sum. Now, Democrats always talk a big game about ending Republican tax cuts. Obama campaigned on that. He never did that with the Bush tax cuts. I don't imagine that Biden will, but he's not shy about raising taxes, especially when it comes to regulations.
No, the regulatory burden in this country is one of the untold stories, just absolutely amazing. I had Douglas Holt-Aiken on the show last week, and again, trillions and trillions of dollars that we ultimately pay for because businesses, particularly small businesses, have to pass that on. What's intriguing here is over the last 15, 20 years, around the world, taxes have come down. To compete on the global stage, you have to have lower taxes. And so the irony is that this notion that we could go from where we are now to 28%, it's crazy. It's economic suicide. To your point, maybe it won't happen. I think it's always also somewhat ironic for President Biden to say we've got the greatest economy in the world and not mention, oh, by the way, it's happening under Trump taxes. Right. Low taxes might be working, right? What scares me even more than this is some of the other stuff on the drawing board, particularly taxing unrealized gains and those kind of capital gains tax things. We've got some real dangerous stuff ahead if President Biden's
just asked the country of Ireland what lower taxes did for that country.
Yeah, exactly.
They just drew all that tech money into places like Dublin. CNN had a big poll out on Sunday morning. They got Trump leading 49-43. And this is what we find in terms of success or failure. 61% view Biden's Trump presidency as a failure. 55% think Trump was a success. The importance of the economy on your vote, extremely important, 65%. Then if you go to the next one, I believe of that 65%, who would you favor? In that poll, they find Trump at 62%.
Yeah. And the irony of this, of course, is President Biden tried a grand experiment by pushing all this money into the economy. That $1.9 trillion was completely unnecessary. Household balance sheets were the best they'd ever been. Corporate balance sheets were the best they'd ever been. All the money that came out during the pandemic, a lot of people were able to initially save a lot of that. Now our savings rate, we found out on Friday, is down to 3.2%. So, and every time you hear someone saying the economy is strong, people are spending, because prices are going up. They're not buying more things, right? And so, people are keeping up, trying to keep up.
Go back to that again. Say that again.
So, like retail sales were up X amount of percent. Doesn't mean people went out and bought more things, right? In fact, this last retail sales report, I think 6 or 7 categories were actually down. The ones that were up were like gasoline. Yeah, we're spending it all at the gas station. Or food, we're spending it all at the supermarket. So Friday, we found out our savings rate is 3.2%. 3.2%. I think the record low is 2.9%. By the way, it was 3.6% the month before. So we're drawing down savings at a rapid pace. That's reflected in that poll.
Wow. I think that's interesting for us to keep in mind about just because you see retail sales up doesn't mean that people are out there having a great time buying stuff.
Sure.
$3.70 a gallon this weekend. I tell you, watch it. Right? Now we're coming into the month of May, Charles. History repeats itself.
I know. It's really, I think even the CNN poll, even though I was toggling the channels, and man, they were beside themselves trying to, go back. They were trying hard to erase or mitigate their own poll. It's really kind of fascinating to watch.
That's been going on for about a year.
By the way, one of the crazy things that's going on is this unrealized gains tax is really, they admit it's more or less a tax on white people who've made a lot of money. In their goal, they say the goal is to rebalance the racial wealth gap. Although that's BS. They say that because I think they want to get black and Hispanics a vote. If they were able to successfully confiscate this money from successful white people, none of it would go to, it wouldn't change. You don't change the racial wealth. You don't change any wealth gap by doing this. You want to help me do this. Right. And how do you do this? Get the hell out of my way and make it easier for me to achieve the American
I'm on the record saying that's never going to happen, but nonetheless, we're still talking about it.
It's rhetoric.
Thank you, Charles.
Thanks.
See you at 2 o'clock.
See you later.